Britain's best-loved High Court enforcement agents are back. And in this new Can't Pay special,
somebody's gonna get hurt. Either me or you lot.
We see them pushed to their limits.
You think you can tear my family apart?
Resolving some of the trickiest cases of their careers.
I'll smash his head.
Confronted with aggression, lies,
You push me.
Please.
and debtors who won't face up to the truth.
Director of the company's on a boat in the Mediterranean.
We see the agents overcoming every barrier put in their way.
Sir, touch that, I'll phone the police.
Yes, call the police.
Because no matter what you throw at them,
Oh, thanks.
if you can't pay,
It's just not fair.
they'll take it away. With the shift to online shopping and an increase in business rates, high streets across the UK are under pressure. 2016 saw the lowest number of store openings since 2011. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are High Court enforcement agents. They work all over the north of England, repossessing properties and collecting debts.
Sunny Crew, eh?
Today they're on their way to Crewe, Cheshire, to collect an unpaid debt from Phone Station, a shop specialising in mobile phones. But this isn't the first time Stuart has crossed paths with its owner, Mr. Ola Soji.
We're going to a mobile phone shop that me and Ian Taylor went to about 2 months ago, but he had no money. While we were there, he was on the phone to the court filling out an application to stay the writ.
Right.
When we reattend a premises, it makes me more determined to get the payment in full, simply because I've been there before, I know what the defendant's like, I know what excuses they're going to give, the cards are in our hand.
After the agent's first visit, the owner appealed against the writ. But after failing to turn up to 2 court hearings, he lost his case. Now he must pay the £3,900 debt owed to a business consultancy.
Oh, there it is there, Phone Station.
This job will be anything but straightforward.
We buy and fix phones.
Come to the right place.
If Mr. Olasoji can't pay, the agents have the right to seize business assets to the value of the debt.
Hi mate, you alright? We're after Mr. Alsapan Olzaje. Are you able to get him on the phone, mate? We're High Court enforcement agents. I've been here before, mate.
The shop assistant gets straight through to Mr. Olasoji.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello there, sir. It's Mr. McCracken, the High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah, I've just applied to set aside the judgment made against me.
Yeah, it's been thrown out, sir, hence the reason that we're here today.
No, I've done another one yesterday.
It's still active at the moment, sir. So we need £3,900. If not, we will be removing goods today, sir.
Whatever, man.
No problem. I'll start removing goods, so that's not a problem. Oh, that's a great answer.
Everyone's got a right to defend their case and put their story across, but it doesn't always go in their favour. They've had their chance. They either need to make a payment, or we will be removing goods.
With Mr. Olasoji not cooperating, Stuart's only option will be to start removing goods from the shop. But he needs to check if the claimant is happy for him to do so.
Good afternoon, John. I reckon we'll get close to the balance, mate, because we've got an iPhone 6 Plus here for 440 quid, and there's about 10 of them. Cheers, John. Bye-bye. Right, Vicky's going to speak to the client now.
Right.
The client says yes, then we need to seize goods.
Best thing about attending a mobile phone shop, it's like walking to a candy shop for a kid. There's goods everywhere, high value items, small items, so it's very easy to remove.
While the agents wait for the office to call back, a woman appears on the scene.
Excuse me.
Who are you in relation to the defendant?
I'm his wife.
Right, okay.
We need the balance.
Do you know what?
The balance paid today.
Right, and that is...
3,900.
So at the moment,
defended this.
Okay.
He's appealed it.
Yeah, and it's been
He's
dismissed.
He's jumped through every single hoop.
yeah, and it's been
into it.
dismissed.
Well, I don't know why the
Okay.
judge has done this
So-
then, because I was.
So at the moment, it means that we'll have
yeah.
to remove goods unless payment is made. It's black and
Well,
white
he's
as
not
that.
going to be able to make payments.
So we'll have to
he's
remove
not.
goods.
He's not like. He's not a rich person. It's just not fair.
I'm just waiting for a phone call back. The second the phone call comes back, Cover will be on its way to have this goods removed.
Unless payment is made.
And what are you taking?
Everything.
I'm gonna break you.
With debt, it can be quite upsetting when family members get involved and they are only trying to help. I can see it from their point of view, but they've got to see it from our point of view that we've got a job to do, and our job is to collect payments or take control of goods.
Minutes later, Stuart hears back from the office.
Hello?
Yeah. I just spoke to the client, they're happy to do that. So, is it a box fan that you need?
Yeah, it's been 3.5 ton.
Alright, no problem.
Cheers, Alison. Bye.
The claimant has agreed to let the agent seize goods to offset the debt. The removal team arrive almost immediately.
Hey, mate, you alright? Are you here for the removal?
Yeah. Just what's here.
Yeah, what's here? Obviously the boxes for the phones and the 2 monitors at the top here.
As the agents stack up mobile phones and laptops, the debtor, Mr. Olasoji, suddenly appears from the back of the shop.
So you can't make a payment, sir.
I don't own these people. That's the first step. And secondly, I don't have any money to pay you.
Right.
Mr. Olasoji claims that although he still works for the business, he transferred ownership of the company 4 months ago. Almost immediately, another man enters the shop.
What's going on?
Who's the shop owner here?
You know the shop.
Mr. Olasoji claims this man, Osman, now owns the business.
Unfortunately, you're not taking it.
Unfortunately, we are, sir.
No, I'm sorry about it. You will not take
Right,
it.
through the
because
next 7 days, sir. You'll need to
we
prove
don't.
it.
It's not mutual. It's not. You're not going to decide. I don't know anything about this.
Right.
You cannot do that.
Sir. This has been going on for like 3 months.
No, has
Okay.
nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I know,
haven't
sir.
got
Well,
anything
that's
to do
not
with
my
you.
problem, sir.
The man Mr. Olasoji claims is the new owner, Osman, is clearly unaware of the £3,900 debt. But as Mr. Olasoji has shown no proof that he's transferred ownership of the shop, the agents have the right to continue to enforce action here today.
You cannot
Okay.
come and take my stuff.
We will be,
Listen,
sir.
You're not
Sir,
taking them.
Sir, you are. I'll need to
Why do you wanna take them?
remain open, mate, I'm afraid.
Huh?
Need to remain open, sir.
In what for why?
Because they've
am
been
I
removed,
paying rent
sir.
to you? You're not going
Right.
to take them stuff,
We will
and
be,
they are
sir.
not going.
Yeah, we are,
And you
sir.
want to bring them back, please?
No, we won't be.
Hey, help me to take them stuff
No.
back.
I can tell you now, you will get arrested, sir.
As the goods have been seized, they're now the property of the Crown. Attempting to take them back is a criminal offence.
I'm not surprised to hear nearly on every job that people say that what I'm doing is incorrect. But I wouldn't be doing the job if I did it incorrectly. I know the laws and I know the rights, I know them like the back of my hand.
Sir, touch that, I'll phone the police.
Yes, call it.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
no problem at all. No problem at all. You want me to phone the police? Yeah? Alright, no problem.
Excuse me, mate. You're not coming.
Close it down, mate. I'll
Hey,
get to
come
this door.
outside, please.
No, stay
If you touch
inside.
me, you get arrested, sir. If
You go what?
you touch me, you're going to get arrested.
I need
Well,
immediate
this
police
is what
assistance, please.
With Osman willing to risk arrest to save his business, will Stuart and Vic be able to resolve this case peacefully?
Can you give way, please?
No, wait.
We're going to get arrested. Oh,
You.
Crewe, Cheshire.
Hi, mate, you alright?
High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were at a mobile phone shop to collect a debt from business owner Mr. Olasoji.
We need £3,900. If not, we will be removing goods today, sir.
Whatever, man.
With Mr. Olasoji declining to pay, Stuart and Vic started to remove goods.
What's here? Obviously the boxes for the phones and the 2 monitors at the top.
But then Mr. Olasoji emerged from the back of the shop and claimed the business was no longer his. The man he claimed was the new owner wasn't going to let the goods in the shop go,
they are not going.
Yeah, we are,
And you
sir.
want to bring them back, please?
No, close it down, mate.
leaving the agents with a volatile situation on their hands.
Can you give way, please?
No, wait.
I need
Well,
immediate
this
police
is what
assistance, please.
Stuart calls for police backup.
Why can you possess something that you don't talk to me? Have you ever talked to me?
Police service, please.
How can you just walk in and break everything?
Sir, I've been here before. I need immediate police assistance, please. We have a gentleman that's removing seized goods from the back of the van.
It's not fair what you're doing, you know? At least you have to work with me. We talk about this. Well, you just come and pack stuff like that. You're telling me
That
7
gentleman,
days?
sir, known about this. So if he doesn't communicate with you as the business owner, I can't be responsible for that.
In this job, you will get a pack of excuses of why they can't pay or what situation they're in. People that don't own goods claim not to be the defendant. It does get tiring, but it's part of the job. It's a game, isn't it?
Will you stop this thing and we start sorting this thing out now? Does it have to be the full money?
Yes, sir.
No part payment?
No, sir. Full balance. £3,900 and 41 pence.
The agents aren't backing down. Minutes later, the police arrive on the scene.
Afternoon, officers, you okay? Yeah, it's myself at Rang, High Court Enforcement Agents. The gentleman in the grey tracksuit has gone and taken goods out of the van. He's settled down now because he's now realised the fact that the stuff is going. But obviously we just need regards to breach of the peace, guys, because everything's going. Is that all right?
Carry on.
Yeah, no problem, officer. Thanks very much.
With the police at the premises, the reality of the situation is starting to sink in for Osman.
Can we have a chat, please?
Yeah, of course, can.
This is not my problem.
Yeah.
I understand.
No, I understand that.
Obviously, I don't want the business to stop.
No.
If I pay this money, would I be able to come back at the court? Because
In the next 14 days, if you go to court and the judge says, yeah, you're right, the writ doesn't stand, you get that money refunded.
Mr. Olasoji and Osman go off to try and raise enough money to save the business.
It's funny how quickly the penny drops with someone that's trying to fob you off when they start realizing, hold on a minute, my goods are actually walking out the front door. It's amazing how fast they start digging into their pockets and getting money that they've been telling you for the last 3 hours they haven't got.
Minutes later, Osman returns with over half the money in cash.
39.
Yeah.
41.
Count this.
There's 2,000. You want to enter your PIN then? So there's 1,941 on the card, yeah? Yeah, it's gone through.
Right. Guys, can empty it out. That's it sorted now, isn't it? So that's it paid in full. Yeah, okay.
With payment made in full, the goods can be returned to the shop. After a tense confrontation, the case is resolved.
Sadly, this is one of the tactics we've got to use, that when it actually goes onto the van, they actually realise, hang on, we've got to stop messing about now, we've actually got to pay this bill.
Look, it's a serious job, this. We're not going to make jokes about it. If we're telling you we're going to take the goods, we're going to take it.
They might think we're bluffing,
Yeah,
but
yeah. We're not here to play games, gentlemen.
When people's possessions are at stake, High Court enforcement agents have to think on their feet to get results in highly charged situations. But sometimes debtors will say anything to avoid paying up, as father and son team Delroy and Dale Anglin found out earlier this year.
Sometimes when doing this job, you just have to turn detective to prove the fact that they're lying. It's down to me to dig in and find the evidence to show them that we're not going anywhere. We're not just going to walk back out the door. We're going to have a look and see what's going on.
It's 7:30 p.m. Del and Dale are in Hotton, Essex, to collect nearly £3,000 owed by the owner of an Indian takeaway to a supplier.
Blue Arrow Essex Limited, trading as Bengal Spice.
Okay.
Blue Arrow Essex Limited owns the Bengal Spice takeaway. If its director, Mr. Asif Rayhan, can't or won't pay today, Del and Dale have the right to seize goods from the premises to offset the debt.
Mate, you're right. My name's Dale Anglin, I'm a High Court enforcement agent. Well, there's a High Court writ against Blue Arrow Essex Limited.
Blue Arrow Essex Limited.
Yeah.
This is Best Fit.
Best Fit?
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
Nearly 6 months.
6 months.
Probably more than that. You know?
When people say to me, it's not this business, I'm not that person, I'm looking for the conflict in their body language and what they're actually saying. Notice little things, little shakes of the hands, their eyes might dilate, and I'm looking for any little betrayal that makes me start to get suspicious.
The agents need proof the business is now under new management, as the man claims. Dale starts looking through the firm's bills and paperwork.
Blue Arrow Essex Limited, VAT bill. What else is in there? Bank statements for Blue Arrow.
All the bills and documents are addressed to Blue Arrow Essex Limited, the company named on the writ. There's no sign of Best Fit, so Dell does a quick check on company's house.
You're showing us still trading here anyway as Blue Arrow Essex.
That's this month's bank statement.
That's it's sending us to here constantly.
So why are you opening their bank statements?
Are you coming wrong places?
No. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'll always follow the paper trail because you can't really dispute the paper trail. The guys in that business, you could see they were being defensive, but I can't just call them a liar. I need to show them why I don't believe them. You need to find the evidence and break down each lie as it comes. You say you've been here 6 months, so you should be registered for business rates and you should have a lease.
The business rate, we don't pay the business rate.
Who pays it then? Show me the paperwork.
This is not here, but...
I want to see a bill from the council regarding your business rates.
This is not a blue arrow.
Despite the men's protests, Dale and Dell haven't seen any proof that the new company, Best Fit Essex Limited, is now running the takeaway. The agents need to talk to the owner to get the case resolved.
Right, can we get one of the bosses on the phone?
I can't get it.
Huh? You can't get it?
You need to make a phone call now. Why can't you phone the owners?
Why can't you phone one of the bosses? You guys don't want to call the boss, so what it means now... Listen to me, hear me. I've listened to you. I've asked you many times to call the boss. Whoa. You're not the boss, so I don't know why you're talking.
You know what? Don't talk to me.
As the takeaway staff won't call their boss and can't prove the business isn't the debtor company, Dell and Dale step up the pressure.
What you need to do, you need to turn off all the gas. We're closing everything. We're going to take it today.
No, you can't.
We can.
No, you can't.
Why are you talking to me?
No.
I don't know why you're talking to me. You said don't talk to me.
No, don't push me.
Excuse, I'm not pushing you.
No, don't. You push me.
I'm not pushing you.
No, I'm staying over there, but you pushed me here.
I never pushed you there. You walked to here. You walked to here.
No, otherwise I'm going to call police.
Call them. Call them.
Yeah, of course I'm going to call police.
Then call them. It's fine.
When things got a little bit aggressive in the kitchen, that's another thing that points to the fact that there's more to this than meets the eye. The whole body language at that point changed because we were getting too close to the truth and what was going on.
With such a strong reaction to the agent's presence, Dell and Dale want to find out who the men really are.
Where did you say you live?
I live in London, Italy.
Same as Mr. A. Ryan, yeah? As if Ryan, what's your name?
My name?
Yeah, your name.
My name is Ali. Ali.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got any ID on you? Do you have ID on you? No, you haven't. That's completely.
Then Dell spots a set of car keys.
I'm holding the keys.
Why are you holding me?
Because I wish to hold the keys until we establish what's going on here. So this is your car.
Yeah.
The agents hope that establishing the ownership of the car might reveal whether the man is in fact the director of the company named on the writ, Asif Rayhan. Dale goes out to check the man's car. And finds the insurance documents.
Lovely.
Ali has followed Dale outside.
What's your name?
Ali.
Ali. It's your car, though. And your insurance, yeah?
Sorry?
So it's not your insurance. The one that says as if Ryan. No? You're not as if Ryan then? You are as if Ryan.
Yeah, so what?
So now we can talk, yeah? Let's go talk then.
Finally, his deceit is exposed. The man is the debtor after all.
This is as if Ryan, his insurance policy from his car.
Sooner or later, you reach a situation that they realise the game's up. But sometimes, even when I've got the evidence and I'm waving under their noses, they will stick to their guns, regardless of the fact that the evidence is there showing otherwise.
With his lie exposed, Asif still claims that the shop belongs to a new company, Best Fit.
The company is new company.
Okay, so the new company bought all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I see the receipt and the transaction?
Bill of sale. Show me the bill of sale.
That's new people. New
So you don't have it.
What do you mean?
You don't have a bill. You don't have a receipt for the new people.
But I don't have any money. Company owes the money.
Listen.
I don't owe the money personally.
But then Dale spots a document addressed to the owner of Best Fit Essex Limited, the new company Asif claims now runs the takeaway. He rings the contact number for the owner named on the document, Mr. Farid Ahmed.
Hello? That's you, yeah? Please.
The call is answered by the other member of staff in the kitchen.
So you're Mr. Ahmed who runs Best Fit Essex Limited, yeah? You're Mr. Ahmed, yeah?
What?
You're Mr. Ahmed, yeah?
Yeah, he was.
You're the contact for this.
Yes,
Please.
he just phoned your number.
I just rang you.
No.
I just rang you.
He just phoned you the number.
Hold your phone out.
He just phoned you, innit?
That's your phone number on there.
No, listen.
You know what? I like the way you roll, yeah?
No idea.
No idea. It was laughable that they were sticking to their story, despite the fact that one of the guys there was obviously the owner of the new company. Their sole intention was to avoid paying the debt to the claimant.
With no paperwork to show that Asif has officially transferred his business to Mr. Ahmed and his company Best Fit, the agents have the right to seize the takeaway's assets to cover the debt, unless he can pay.
Can you make this payment as if £2,919 and 5p?
How can I pay them?
Right, no worries. As if we're going to now remove goods to cover the bill.
But there's a problem. It's now 9:30 p.m. Dell calls the office.
We want to do a removal of all the gas fittings. Are we going to get anybody this time of night? Okay, mate, thanks.
It's too late to send a vehicle to collect the kitchen equipment, so the agents decide to throw Asif a lifeline.
Come here. We're going to give you till 12 o'clock tomorrow. We'll give you till midday to pay $2,919. You look confused.
No. 12 o'clock.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Give me at least 5 o'clock.
Not 5 o'clock. I'll give you till 2 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
2:30. Find the money, please.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
The deadline is set. Asif now has just over 17 hours to pay the £3,000 he owes.
Some cases require you to be logical, methodical. You work it out in the end and you find out who they are. And we just don't give up.
Dell and Dale successfully unravelled a web of deceit. But in Dale's next case with Brian O'Shaughnessy, it's not only lies that get in their way, but an absent boss.
Director of the company is currently on a boat.
Oh, lovely. It's all right. Have a look.
With debts that are threatening the livelihood of his employees.
How is everyone getting paid if they can't pay anything? So everyone's just working for free? Oh, wow.
UK business growth has seen its biggest fall in the last 3 years. Recent research reveals that 4 out of 10 small businesses will fold after their first 5 years of operation. Stratford, East London. Brian O'Shaughnessy and Dale Anglin are on their way to a mechanical and electrical services company, MEH Facilities Limited.
We're looking for £8,067.84. Oh, well, they're a proper firm, you know. Since 1974.
Can you get out there?
Yeah, stop there.
The money is owed to a supplier, and Brian and Dale need to resolve the case today in either cash or goods.
No ramping.
I only want to talk. It's good to talk. It's really important for us to gain entry into a commercial property to assess what assets they have. And it will be the high value end assets. We just target those. Vehicles, plumbing equipment, electrical equipment in electrical commercial property. It all depends on what's in front of us.
Pardon? What she said?
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Happy days. We got a response. Hello. How are you? Thanks for coming out.
That's all right.
May I ask you who you are?
My name's Kathy. I'm the accounts manager.
Hello. This is Dale. I'm Brian. We're here with the High Court writ.
At the moment, we've got insolvency people dealing with it. That's their number. He said, can you give him a ring?
Fair enough.
Kathy claims the company might be going into liquidation. She's been told by the company's insolvency practitioner not to let any agents in. It's clear that before they can even get into the building, the agents have a tricky obstacle to overcome. Brian calls the insolvency practitioner.
Hi, Simon.
I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
The company is subject to winding up petition.
Right.
The company is in the deep doo-doo,
Mm-hmm.
as you'll appreciate.
Yeah.
The business is worth nothing if its trade ceases. We don't think that your writ will be enforceable in these circumstances.
It appears that two of the company's creditors have applied to the courts to force the company into insolvency. The insolvency practitioner believes that this means the writ is not valid, but the case is not due to be heard in court for another 3 weeks. As the company is still trading, the agents are entitled to continue enforcing the writ today.
But we're happy to continue on that basis. Yeah?
So continue doing what?
Taking control of goods.
You're going to take goods away?
Yes. What we'll try and do is we'll try and speak to the hierarchy and see what we can resolve and get it done in the right way.
Speak to the hierarchy?
Well, whoever the director of the company.
The director of the company is currently on a boat.
Oh, lovely. It's all right for some, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, exactly. We're not too happy about it either. I mean, my job is obviously...
Yeah.
You're actually going to go in there?
We have powers of entry on commercial premises and we can force it if we wish to do so. But, you know...
I suggest you go away and get those powers before you start threatening to break in. We'll be calling the police if you try.
Well, it's a civil dispute, it's not a criminal element, and we've got powers of entry as High Court enforcement agents. Well, it was great talking to you, Simon.
You're only allowed access when they give you access.
Okay, please read the TC Act 2007. It stipulates exactly what we can and can't do. Have a great day, Simon.
If you could send...
TC Act. No, look at it yourself. TC Act 2007. Thank you very much.
In front of me.
Fantastic. Have a good read of it. Have a good day.
Where is it?
Right. He's going to advise him, yeah. I don't talk to Simon anymore.
As the winding up petitions could be thrown out at the court hearing, the agents are entitled to continue enforcing the writ today.
When dealing with solicitors, barristers, paralegals, it can get a little frustrating, but, you know, we know what we can do, we know what we can't do, and unfortunately sometimes we have to tell them the law, because they don't always know the law, especially when it comes to our job. Ultimately, I know my job, I know what I can do, and I'll do it. And there's nothing they're going to say, there's nothing they're going to do that's going to stop me. Okay.
The agents find the door unexpectedly open, so they make peaceful entry.
All right. Hello. All right.
Once inside, the agents need to identify any high-value goods they can seize to cover the £8,000 debt.
So the managing director's off on holiday and he's after you guys to deal with it, was he? Charming.
Kathy shows Brian and Dale around the building.
Conference room. Oh, service. They've got service.
Around. Please don't take the server.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Effectively, the actions that we're going to have to do today will effectively shut this business.
It will.
With nothing of high value in the office, it's clear the agents will need to take drastic measures.
What are you taking?
Everything, more or less.
Yeah?
I have to.
All right.
For us to actually cover this bill, we're looking at emptying the building. We're effectively putting you guys out of a job if we do this.
If the agents enforce the writ, it will put the company out of business today. Their only hope is to try and get hold of the director, currently away on a Mediterranean cruise, to see whether he can pay off the debt.
Is there any way of getting hold of the director when he's away?
I've tried texting him.
I think if you're an owner of a business and you're going to just leave your staff to deal with the mess that you've put them in, I think it's unacceptable. As it stands, they're under enough stress as it is because potentially they could be out of a job by the next day, and you've left them to deal with all this stress as well. I just don't think it's right. The last thing we want to do is empty everything out of it, but we're sort of getting left in a position where we literally have no other choice.
With the removal of business assets looking inevitable, the agents quiz Kathy about the company's current outgoings.
So how is everyone getting paid if they can't pay anything? So everyone's just working for free? Oh, wow.
What would we say? It's to our friendship in this room, not to nobody else.
Yeah. Because I've worked here 39 years.
How long?
It appears that Kathy has been more than loyal to the company she's worked for most of her adult life.
I don't care if you take the materials or whatever, but I can show you of my bank that I've been paying for
I don't disbelieve anything you're telling me today. I think you've been the only honest person that's been straight and forward with us.
I've been paying for the
Yeah?
material, I've got my glasses on.
Why are you paying for it out of interest?
Because I've worked here.
How much are you paying out?
Well, every summer I've got the change was about £1,400.
So you've probably done the best part of 10 grand already.
So hang on a minute, let me get this straight. You've put £10,000 out of your money into this business that can't pay you wages, can't pay anybody any money.
You ain't got to tell her.
Trust me.
Trust me.
It's a little heart-wrenching, really. They've got 6 or 7 of them in there, and you know, they're upset. I don't bloody blame them, to be quite honest. They're trying to do their best for the company and to keep it going, and you know, they've got families to feed, they've got mortgages to pay. Putting people out of work, stopping them from earning a wage, and you know, it doesn't really sit nice with me, to be quite honest.
Brian and Dale now need to decide if they're going to seize assets that will close the business overnight.
If you take the gear, it's not going to cover, no, it's going to cover the removal if that. That's what it's going to cover.
There's not a lot there.
There's nothing here, bro. Alright?
Yeah.
I'll do that afterwards.
It's clear that even seizing all the assets might not cover the £8,000 debt. The agents decide to take no further action today.
Okay, guys. Right. I'll let Dale give you the good news.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything today. We're going to leave.
I have the utmost respect for staff members in a company going through difficult times. They show nothing but loyalty, respect for that business, but yet the hierarchy can't do the same. And for me, you know, they go up in my estimations, and I'll do the best I can for them because I want to. They're the victims. Well, that's commendable. And I think the way you guys have stuck here together has been pretty amazing, and it's been quite touching for me to look at. Yeah. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. You know what? I deal with all sorts in life, and we're after the people that don't want to pay. Yeah? All right? Listen, I'll leave you to it.
Cheers.
Be good.
See you, mate.
For me, you know, if I was in that director's position, I'd be here. I'd be dealing with this situation, or I'd have someone doing it. I wouldn't let myself.
Sink with the ship. Sink with the ship. It's your ship.
There we go.
It's your ship, mate.
That's it, we're done today, mate.
Absent debtors are a frustration for High Court enforcement agents. But on some jobs, there's far more at risk. Abuse and physical threats against agents are on the rise, as Paul and Steve found out earlier this year when they tackled one of the largest mass evictions they've ever carried out.
When you're going to a job and it involves more than one family, you have to be aware of all the people that are around you. People can be coming at you from all angles. The threat of injury is always there.
It's early morning, and Paul and Steve are heading to Birmingham to carry out an eviction.
We're about to repossess part of a car park which has been settled on by, allegedly, 28 travellers' caravans.
The travellers they're evicting today were moved from the same site more than a year ago. But they've now returned, and Paul's expecting a hostile reaction.
Police will be in attendance. It's not going to be an easy ride.
Because of the scale of the eviction, agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are also on the case. Paul briefs the team in a car park near the site.
What we'd prefer to do is just to go in quietly, do a walkabout as we always do. If it all goes wrong, just pull back and we'll wait for reinforcements.
But then a van pulls up.
All right, thank you.
What's going on?
The possibilities are that we're coming to move you down the road. If you want the true answer, yeah.
You're going to try and move us?
Yeah.
No.
Well, normal.
It's a High Court issue, is it?
It is, yeah. It started.
Once we were spotted, we had to get down to the site as quick as possible because the travellers could have got more recruits and the situation could have got really dangerous.
That would be it, and the entrance is there on the left, I think, yeah.
The travellers are camped illegally on a former government vehicle testing site. Paul and the team need to notify them they have an hour to clear the premises. But as soon as they enter the site, the van they encountered earlier pulls up.
Morning, sir. If we don't go, what's the options?
They're sending a wrecker truck down and they'll drag you off within the hour. Do you want us to walk around and knock on the doors, or you?
No, there's dogs down there. You get bitten. I'm only here to tell you right from wrong. There's a lot of kids here. You can't take the law into yours and all.
No. We want to do this nicely and together.
The agents start the eviction and notify the rest of the travellers.
Sorry to get you out of bed. It's a High Court eviction notice.
Yeah, so that'll do by when?
Midday.
Okay, we'll be out of here, thank you.
All right, okay.
So far, the travellers seem to be cooperating.
We'd like everybody to be gone by 12.
That's just put the time.
But then, the situation suddenly changes.
Watch out, guys. Well,
The agents are now under attack. They'll have to act quickly to keep this unpredictable eviction on track. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner were in Birmingham to evict a group of travellers who were camped illegally on a former vehicle testing site.
What we would like you to do is to get everybody together and move along.
Together with agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor, they had 28 caravans to move. It all seemed to be going well.
We'd like everybody to be gone by 12.
That's just put the time.
But then the mood changed. And the situation turned violent.
watch out, guys.
Just a minute, I'll have an opportunity to get a good piece of kit out. It's always a youngster who starts making a fuss.
Yeah. Trying to make a name for himself.
Watch out, guys.
If they did their part and kept it
Go on,
clean...
Steve.
That was a brick.
Children see us as a threat, which is to them what we are, and they rebel in the way they know, so they want to get rid of us, so they throw things at us.
Could you do me a big favour? Ask the boys not to do this.
Here, Johnny.
Whether it's half a brick from an adult or half a brick from a child, it's still half a brick. The threat is still there.
Watch out, guys.
The riot shield may look over the top, but do I hold up a riot shield, a dustbin lid, or carry a bag? You know, it's going to be the shield every time.
Look out for them throwing things on the way past. What was it?
Glass bottle.
If the kids start throwing stones or damaging the vehicles, they don't have to take direct responsibility for it. You can't prosecute children like under 10 years old anyway. So the kids they've got free rein. So we were ready for the stones.
Oh, eggs.
As the situation is unpredictable, the police arrive. Paul asked them to come onto the site as a precaution.
Hello, sir. The kids are starting to get arsey now and throwing stones. Oh, if you're pulling the yard, it would be helpful. We do at all costs, and I can't stress this enough, at all costs we avoid physical confrontation. If the police are there, they do appear to have a calming effect, and we'll carry on with eviction.
With the police on site, the atmosphere calms down, and some of the caravans begin to leave.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
They are going peacefully, except for the kids. It's always the kids, isn't it?
Are all the other vans going to go, do you know?
Yeah, but there's not enough tow bars.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I just didn't know if there was going to be any left, that was all.
No, there's no one, but I haven't got enough tow bars.
Okay.
We're just going to have to go and come back.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
But some of the travellers don't want to go quietly.
High enforcement officer, the high jackass.
Yes, smelly boomer.
Finally, the last of the travellers leave.
Let's have a quick look now.
Stuart and Vic assess the damage left behind.
Oh, God, that's vile. Smells of urine. Friggin' hell. Stinks. All the windows have been smashed.
But this is the problem. This is what they leave behind. One big mess.
It's worse down here. That's where they've been dumping all the rubbish from, like, tarmacking and trees and, you know, all the general rubbish from work. Look at the devastation that they leave behind. It's going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands to put this right.
The eviction is complete.
When they all decided to muster together, they all left pretty quickly. The last truck or whichever, they threw one more bottle as a parting gift. But at the end of the day, nobody got physically hurt in any way, and it was a good job.
See you later, guys.
Take care,
Take
lads.
it
Safe
easy.
journey.
Next time,
I've never taken gold before.
in another Can't Pay special,
She needs to leave the property today.
No phone calls either.
the High Court enforcement agents find out what's really going on behind Britain's front doors
You didn't think he was going to live? We are genuinely concerned.
as they make some of the most surprising discoveries of their careers.
I don't want to touch that. I think you better call the old Bill.
And that call will be being made next Wednesday at 9. Blood pressure is on the rise and it's all down to high fences and breaking parking rules. New Nightmare Neighbour Next Door tomorrow at 8. Next on Channel 5, For Some Telling Lies comes far too naturally, which is why Paul Connolly's going undercover to expose the benefit cheats.
What happens when you get into debt
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
and you can't
You think you can tear my family apart?
won't pay it back.
I can't pay it. I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
Get out of here! Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Dealing with desperate debtors
Keep kicking me out of my dad's house.
in dramatic situations.
This is not the same. I'm a squad in this place now.
We meet the people who are losing their homes
I am really the victim for this landlord. Really victim.
and their possessions.
That's fine, because I just list everything and we'll take it.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off me.
they'll take it away. A leading charity reports that nearly 40% of homeless people have lived in properties without the owner's permission. And since squatting in domestic properties was outlawed in 2012, the problem has shifted to commercial premises, with an estimated clean-up bill of £650 million. Paul Bohill is a High Court enforcement agent. He travels hundreds of miles every week, enforcing writs and repossessing properties. It's 7 a.m. in South London. Today, Paul and several colleagues are facing a real challenge. They must evict a group of squatters who've taken over an empty nursery building in Brixton.
So what time are the police due?
They're going to be with us from the outset.
They've been told to expect the worst, so the team have security and police backup. Paul is also being joined by Stuart McCracken and Ian Taylor.
But apparently, from what we've heard, is the police said that they've apparently been throwing bottles and paint and all sorts, so it could get quite feisty, I suppose. You're all right with a bit of urine. It's just like your normal weekend, isn't it, Ian?
Steve Pinner and his son Ben are already at the site. But this eviction isn't going to be straightforward.
That house there.
Paul and Ben brief the three teams.
We'll surround the building at our appointed positions. They have been known to throw paint and urine, and if they are, please stand back. And we want spotters at the back and watching the upstairs windows, just in case there's a television coming out to be dropped on us.
Just some more intel. There's also someone inside that also glassed someone recently. Obviously, they've been notes barricaded, which includes fridges. You may find a fridge coming down the stairs.
Whatever they face, Paul wants the agents to remain calm.
The important thing to remember on this is low-key, non-confrontational.
Let's go.
The former nursery is on a main road in Brixton. The agents split up to check all the different entry and exit points. Stuart and Ian guard the front.
Well, the front door's been barricaded in, hasn't it?
What makes these people dangerous is the fact that they've got nothing to lose. They're already homeless.
This is the reason why we need a bit of police presence.
At the back of the house, the team have to get over a high fence and locked gate to gain entry.
Just pass me a bar.
The gate has been nailed firmly shut. The squatters have been here for over 5 weeks and have made it hard for anyone to get in.
Sorry about it not being so quiet.
OK, we're not here to destroy things.
One of the squatters is waiting behind the back door.
Good morning. We have a High Court writ, and we have to execute it, sir.
Expect our resistance.
Well, that's really unnecessary. We want to do this nicely, calmly. Are you going to open the door?
With the man refusing to open the door, Paul steps in.
Listen, we'll execute the writ today, come what may. So we'd rather it be done peaceably. We're not going to rush you. You can get vans in, you can get people in.
We do not want to make the making of homelessness easy for anybody.
OK, but we've got generators and cutters. We're going to come in anyway.
The agents have no choice but to break into the property.
Because the downstairs window is open.
Take the locks off these grills on the windows first.
It's important to get in fast before more entry points get boarded up. Successfully in, Steve now smashes open the barricades, blocking the back door.
Sorry, that's fine, thank you.
The agents don't know what to expect, or how many squatters they will face.
Good morning, sir. I'm sorry that we're going to have to ask you to leave today.
As you can see, I can
Okay, so we have 1, 4, 5.
Oh, well, fucking hell. People living like this.
Normal shithole. This is almost as untidy as my house.
When you get into these properties, for some reason they just trash the building, and for no particular reason. Why would I want to live in somewhere that's filthy dirty? Hygiene is like next to zilch. I couldn't do it.
Ben finds the man he spoke to through the door, Glenn.
How many have you hid? I thought there was more.
I'm not even sure of numbers at the moment because quite a few people have gone away for a few days.
Apparently there's about 12, 13 people in there at the moment, but apparently there's 32 classified as missing. So they might come back, they might not.
Paul and a police officer inspect a former classroom.
So just look out for needles and things.
And find evidence of Class A drug use.
That's a big enough needle to tranquilise a horse, isn't it? Yeah.
More squatters have now returned. But as they begin to leave the house with their belongings, tensions start to rise.
I'm not letting anybody to touch my stuff, right?
You wankers, go get real jobs. Go fuck yourself.
Some of the squatters have started drinking alcohol and don't seem in a hurry to leave. As various vans arrive to collect their belongings, the squatters decide to move from the former nursery playground to the yard next door. Ben realises that they could try and squat there instead. He takes immediate action.
Hello? Hello, madam.
Sorry, you can't get inside my fucking van.
I don't want to get inside your van. I want to talk to you. What's the problem?
We are not a
calm
circus.
down.
We are not. We are people with dignity.
I understand.
We are people with dignity. We are not a circus.
Look, calm down. Just forget about it.
Okay, I don't want to move.
Okay, we'll see.
You can evict me. Who's the owner of this place? This is not the same. I'm squatting this place now.
With tensions rising, will the agents be able to move the squatters out of the yard before the situation becomes out of control? 3 High Court enforcement agent teams were in Brixton, South London, to evict a group of squatters from a former nursery.
We have a High Court writ, and we have to execute it, sir.
Expect our resistance.
The eviction started peacefully, but once in a neighbouring yard, the situation became volatile.
I'm squatting this place now.
Now, the agents have to use all their years of experience to take back control of the situation.
Just forget about it.
Okay, I don't want to move.
Okay, we'll see.
The owner of the van has decided she's not going anywhere.
This is just getting a little bit heated out there. We need some action.
Okay, we're going to live here now. Now we're going to squat this place.
Ben appeals to the other squatters for help.
Right. Someone that speaks a bit of sense, tell her to calm down.
Don't talk to them, they're not human, obviously. They don't care about the actual human. Oh no, poor people. Oh, sorry, I'm just doing my job. Diminish sense of responsibility.
With the atmosphere becoming tense, Ben tries to reason with the owner of the van.
You can't squat here, madam, because you're causing obstruction to the highway. Does anyone want to talk some sense to her?
When people decide that, do you know what, I'm not actually going to go, it doesn't affect us, because at the end of the day, we know you're going, and could, in the event, result in you being arrested for obstructing and refusing to leave.
Ben suspects that the squatters are now trespassing on private land belonging to the mosque next door. With no one cooperating, he changes tactic.
Good morning, sir. Is the Amman available? Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
We're here, obviously, next door to evict the squatters.
Okay.
The piece of land at the very back.
Right. That is yours.
Yes.
Okay.
With your authority,
right,
you could have employed my company as a security, and we can remove them that way. No charge. Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
The Imam has given Ben the authority to remove the squatters from the land.
Just so you know, this land is owned by the mosque. We are instructed for the mosque for security.
It's been 4.5 hours since the agents first arrived. Everyone starts to leave, including the female van owner. But some of the squatters are still in no hurry.
You'll allow back in.
That's my stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
They'll have to bring it out for you.
Yeah, we'll bring it out.
Morning.
The landlord's agent has arrived. He explains the property had been left empty, waiting for council approval to turn it into private dwellings.
As soon as Goods has put the sign up at the front, the property, it was, you know, he had somebody come in and checking it over, but they went one night, came the following day, and it was occupied, and that was it. So, I mean, how can you live like that? It's just horrendous, isn't it?
The main problem is, I mean, it's great getting properties back for landlords and things like that, but it's the whole damage that's left behind.
It's not like when a property is legally rented out that if it's left in a bad condition, then they can legally take their tenants to court. Unfortunately, because it's squatters and they had no legal right to be here, they can't do that.
Glenn has a first-class university degree in maths. He sees any empty property like this as fair game to live in.
Squatting for me is just my escape from rent. I don't want to be put in a situation where a large proportion of my wages goes towards someone who's rich enough to buy a property. I feel everybody should have an equal opportunity in being able to shelter themselves. But we'll just keep moving on, building after building after building.
The agents have turned what could have been a challenging situation into a peaceful eviction.
This is the disturbing part. Every one of those people there felt that they had an absolute right to be there. We know from speaking to the agent that the property company is trying to get a change of use so they can turn it into dwellings. In other words, to house homeless people. Not this sort of homeless people, but people who will pay rent.
Research from a leading UK financial authority reveals having children increases the probability of debt problems by more than 50%. The hardest hit are single parents, who are 1.5 times more likely to be in debt than two-parent families. High Court enforcement agents Gareth Short and Craig Vernal work across Wales and central England.
What's the plan, mate? Plan? We're off to Birmingham.
They have a writ to collect a large debt owed by Kayleigh Goodwin to a firm of solicitors.
The debt totals just short of £6,500.
If Kaylee can't or won't pay today, the agents have the right to seize assets to pay off the debt. The writ allows the agents to make peaceful entry through an unlocked door.
Hello? High Court Enforcement Agents, yeah?
Yeah, you can come in. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Can you just close the door?
The High Court Enforcement Agents, we're looking for Kaylee Goodwin. Is that yourself?
No.
It's not yourself, is it?
She doesn't live anymore.
No, I'll just show you some ID.
Somebody else has been here looking for Kaylee Goodwin.
Yeah?
On numerous occasions.
Okay.
I've been here for 6 months. I live here, I'm a single parent. Live here with my son.
What was your name, please?
My name's Melissa. Right.
I'm going to be cheeky here, Melissa. Do you have any ID or anything like that we can look at, please? Have you got anything with your name on?
I can have a look in the kitchen drawer. I know I haven't got anything.
You got it?
I'm going for a job interview at a nursing agency and I haven't got no identification for them.
What's on there, love? What's on?
I think I've got a letter. I haven't got anything. Actually, I've got nothing.
So whenever we knock the door and we're greeted by somebody we think is the debtor, the first thing we need to do is to find out if it is actually the debtor, and we always ask them for ID. As soon as they say they don't have any ID, that's normally a telltale sign that it is actually the debtor and they're trying to hide away from it.
Okay. Let's start telling us now, okay?
All right, I'm Kaylee Goodwin.
Perfect, brilliant. Okay.
What is this about?
Kaylee, we're here with the High Court writ, we are.
For what?
Okay. It's money you owe to a company.
That's getting dealt with by my solicitor at the moment. What happened was, I was in a car crash.
Okay.
After her car crash, Kaylee filed a compensation claim through a firm of solicitors.
All my forms went through.
Yeah.
I then moved here. I didn't hear anything off them. I then got a letter saying that I owe them money. But I had a letter about 3 weeks ago saying that it's gone to took it to a county judge. So I've just passed it on to my solicitor.
Kaylee has now been taken to court for unpaid solicitors' bills, and the agents are here to collect.
The position you're in now, unfortunately, you see, solicitor's done nothing with this at all. There's still an active writ, which
So what can I do?
Okay.
I'm willing to pay this amount.
You've got a couple of different options when it comes to our stage. You can either pay it, and it stands at £6,474.49, or unfortunately, we'll be looking to seize and remove assets from you.
I haven't got anything, nothing belongs to me. That TV's my mum's. I've got a TV upstairs which is mine, I'm not going to lie, but it's broke. That's why my mum's won't do that one.
Unfortunately, we will be looking to seize and remove assets if we can't pay it, including our TV.
A TV at public auction is probably worth about £50, but what is worth the actual debt is a lot more. So whenever we start looking at leverage, the first thing I look at is the TV, because the last thing they want to lose is the TV.
So you're going to leave me and my son with no TV, basically?
Hopefully it won't come to that
I
situation.
haven't got the money though.
If you're saying to us you need like half an hour to try and make some phone calls...
Try and make some phone calls. I'm meant to be at work at 9 o'clock. I'm a district nurse. I've got nobody with money around me. Nobody. So I don't think I'm making a phone call for money because that's one thing I haven't got.
Despite her dispute with the solicitors, if Kaylee doesn't try and raise the payment today, she's at risk of losing what little she has.
So what is my options really? Just be honest with me, please.
Couple of different options. I can say the worst case scenario now, we can seize and remove assets from you. Obviously, we don't want to do that. You can pay it, or you can set up some kind of a payment plan.
What, I'd have to pay something now?
They'd be looking for some kind of down payment now, see?
I literally haven't got a thing.
Unfortunately, then, we're going to have to start to seize and remove assets from you.
I haven't even got anything. My washing machine's broke, my fucking fridge freezer's broke. The only thing that I've got in this house is that TV, that's all I've got. I haven't even got a fucking bed in my bedroom. That's how bad it is in this house. I haven't got a bed.
You've also got a 2010 plate Mazda on the drive.
That's not my Mazda.
Who's that then?
That's my mum, so have a look into it, mate. It's broken down, that's why she's parked it there. You can ask any. I walk. I'll phone my job now.
Okay, we've also... Well, The car keys are on your kitchen
Yeah,
table.
but that's not my. It's not my car. I don't drive. I don't own a license. I know I lied to you earlier, but I'm not lying now. I mean, I can give you £1,000 on Friday if you just give me till Friday. I get my wage slip will come through Thursday night. I will give you my whole wages. My whole wages Friday morning. If not, you can come in and you can take what you want.
We couldn't wait for 3 days.
You can't.
Car keys.
I've got no family. Sorry.
I'm not saying I don't feel sorry for them, because I do feel sorry for a lot of debtors. Majority of the time you realise straight away they've got no assets whatsoever. But I know I'm there to do a job, and if I didn't do my job, then they'd just get away with not paying their debt forever.
The agents can see Kaylee's in distress, and with little to take away, they offer her a lifeline.
We need 50% of it. Whether you get 50% or not is worth trying, isn't it?
Kaylee makes a call to a friend to try and raise some funds.
Hello, and listen, where are you? It's Kaylee. Listen, I've got bailiffs in my house, right? Are you listening? And listen, I need some money, and I'll pay you back £500 a month. If not, they're taking everything out of my house now, and the baby's in bed. 3 grand. I owe them 6. I'll give you about £500 a... If not, they're taking everything out of my fucking house, and... I woke up this morning and I've got all this at my door.
Kaylee's friend can lend her the money, but can't get it immediately.
All his money takes 3 working days. It's not good enough.
Unfortunately not.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Alright. I need a few hours.
We can give you an hour. We can wait here for an hour if you wanted to.
Why are you trying to intimidate me?
I'm not trying to...
Feel like,
I'm not... How am I trying...
bad, like I just mean like I feel like he's a heartless in my house.
Okay.
My son's upstairs in bed. I know it's your job, like I do get it, I understand it, but
Yeah.
I'm asking for 3 days. I can get the money for you in 3 days.
We'll happily wait. We'll be the most patient men in the world for the next hour or so if we wanted to.
I'm sorry I just shouted a lot.
Don't need to apologise to us, that's fine.
I do appreciate that having 2 burly guys knocking your door is not the nicest thing in the world, especially if there's a single mum living on her own. And that's when I just try and take myself down to their level. Just try and see where they're coming from, just speak to them on a one-to-one basis.
How confident are you that that person, or you're going to have £3,000 at the end of the week?
I will have £3,000 if I have to go and sell myself by the end of the week.
I'm not asking you to do
No,
that, yeah?
I'm serious though. I've got a son upstairs. I need to protect.
Okay.
I don't like being in debt. Like, I don't like it.
But what we could do is put you into something called a controlled goods agreement. So that means we list some items in your property, we leave them here with you, and then come Friday, we can then give you until Friday to pay this £3,000. Yeah? And then put you into something manageable on a monthly or weekly basis for you.
With the promise of £3,000 in 3 days' time, the agents give Kaylee a payment plan to pay the balance.
Would you be happy with that? That's all it takes. If I take a quick seat here and let me explain this easier, yeah?
By signing the controlled goods agreement, Kaylee enters a binding contract.
Come Friday now, we're going to make that payment. It's that number there.
Yep.
All the best. All the best tonight. Thanks, Kaylee. Take care.
Kaylee now has 3 days to come up with £3,000. If she doesn't pay by the deadline, the agents will be back, and she could lose her possessions. Gareth and Craig have managed to get a result from a difficult situation. But in Paul and Steve's next case,
I am really the victim for this landlord.
they face a tenant locked in a bitter dispute with her landlord.
What about my children? They go to school, they have exams, they close their books.
Recent government figures reveal record numbers of homeless families are unable to afford suitable accommodation after they've been evicted by private landlords. In the last 5 years, there has been a 25% increase of families with dependent children in temporary accommodation. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner are in West London to carry out an eviction.
Next job we're on our way to is a repossession.
The tenants, Mr. Janidi and his family, have lived in the property for 3 years, but recently fell behind with their rent.
There was an amount of 6,800 outstanding, but for some reason 3,400 odd has already been paid.
Looks as if they were sort of trying.
Despite the fact that some of the arrears have been paid off, the landlord decided not to renew the tenancy when the lease expired.
That's it, first house in on the left. It's quite posh, isn't it?
The tenants were given a date by the county court by which to leave. But that date has come and gone. And now Paul and Steve must get the family out. Today.
Oh my goodness, it's got all bloody concertina grills on all the windows. And a steel gate. It's very secure, isn't it?
That's a high security lock as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody who's obviously seriously paranoid. It's got a burglar alarm as well.
Oh. Hello. We're High Court enforcement agents and we have a writ to repossess the property.
Today?
Today.
Nobody told me.
Okay, but we have a this is for you. Have you spoken to the council at all?
No.
Not to the council.
And also the landlord, he asked me to pay money and I gave him money.
We can see that you have given him money, yes, but unfortunately,
I didn't prepare anything and I don't know where to go.
Okay. Let me just talk to you. How many people?
2 children.
2 children. Okay.
No.
Okay. The way to do things is to pack enough clothes for yourselves and your children's for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then you can make an arrangement to come back in a couple of days.
All belongs to me.
You make
for the landlord. All this stuff for
Okay,
me.
no, it's okay. So you make it. No, please, just take a breath. Okay, just calm. Okay, have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
It's clear the eviction has come as a shock to Mrs. Janidi. Her husband isn't at the house, and a family friend, Ramsey, steps in to help.
How many days you have to leave the house?
No, today.
What do you mean
today?
How today? How?
It's not possible.
Steve explains that after the tenancy ended, the court instructed the family to leave 8 weeks ago.
I told him I am ready to pay all the arrears. He asked me what you can pay. I said tomorrow I go and I went, paid 2,500 after I wiped everything. And I said I am very ready to give the money and please give me the tenancy agreement. Why I paid him 2,500? Tell me why. For nothing?
Mrs. Janidi claims that her landlord agreed to renew her tenancy after she'd paid off some of the arrears. But the High Court writ orders immediate eviction.
If he's played games with you about payment of the monies, that's completely separate to the possession order. Cutting a long story short is we have no option in this. You have to leave today.
99% of what here is mine. Even the floor you
I understand. No, I understand that.
What about my children? They go to school, they have exams, they're closed, their books.
I accept that you have a story to tell, and I'm sorry to be the one who has to do this.
I am really victim for this landlord, really victim.
Yeah.
Should the Lord also save me, not just the landlord?
Despite Mrs. Janidi's dispute with her landlord, Paul and Steve are duty-bound to enforce the eviction.
This is not law, not at all. It's not only clothes.
It's not a matter of
I have expensive things in this house. We are not people from the street.
I understand that.
While Steve tries to reason with Mrs. Janidi, Paul goes off to talk to the landlord. He's just arrived with a friend who's been helping him with the case.
Sorry, she's telling us a story there.
Yeah, she's all fine.
She showed me the court order, which is, I mean, this is an end of tenancy, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
Section 21.
Yeah.
She's told she's got to pack her stuff
No.
now. She's got an hour to pick the stuff up. Just give us 15, 20 minutes. It's best if she doesn't... That's all right, unless you're happy with confrontation.
Inside, Mrs. Janidi is still refusing to leave.
can't leave now. My life is here.
But we can't. By the time your children get back, the council will be closed.
Okay, that's it. We're gonna wait. Let's check this. They have a test. They have exams.
This is the circumstances where you phone the school and you say there is a problem at home. The school will let him go.
Mrs. Janidi leaves to pick her teenage children up. Family friend Ramzi stays to pack their belongings. But the agents want to know where Mrs. Janidi's husband is, who is also named on the writ.
If he hear the news now, consider him dead. He's 70 years old. He have high blood pressure. He have sugar, diabetes. He have jaundice. He have heart problem.
To have all this on top of that, bad day.
Ramzi tells the agents that Mr. Janidi is in hospital. But the landlord's friend has a very different version of events.
The story that we've got from them, collectively, is that the husband is in hospital.
Well, as far as we're aware, he just disappeared off the scene.
Right.
And then that's the cock and bull story that she gave us. But we believe he'd gone back home. That's what we thought.
Home being to Jordan.
Wherever he came from.
The landlord's friend knows about the payment to clear half of the £6,800 arrears. But with over £3,000 still owing, he's unaware of any agreement allowing the family to stay.
I can't understand why she paid it anyway, because she was told not to pay it. She was told, but if you read the court thing, she didn't have to pay it. She had to get out on the 1st of December, no money's paid or anything.
50 minutes later, Mrs. Janidi arrives back with her children. Spotting the landlord's friend, she wants answers.
I want to ask.
No.
I am busy. I don't do problem. I want to talk. Just talk. Just talk. I don't.
Talk through solicitors.
If I am solicitors, what is first? Solicitor didn't make for me anything. I went to the solicitor.
Talk through your solicitor.
I want to talk. I asked him just why he did with us like this.
Just talk through
We
your
changed
solicitor.
his house to be a palace. A palace. Everyone knows.
I understand your position, but you must go to the council for help. You must.
Okay, I know, but
Mrs. Janidi and her 2 children are now homeless. It will be up to the council to provide emergency accommodation for the night.
Obviously, they're going to get upset. You know, to all intents and purposes, this is one of the worst days of their life. They're being asked to leave a property which they consider as being their home. The job still has to get done.
Recent research has revealed that half of all payments owed to firms are overdue, with the average amount exceeding £40,000. Late payments put almost a quarter of UK small firms at risk of insolvency. Gareth Short and Craig Vernal are back on the road again. This time they're in Bristol to recover a debt of over £10,000 owed by a plumbing business to a supplier.
We are going to see Phoenix Engineering Southwest Limited. It's currently to the tune of just over £10,000. It's a big one. Yeah.
The agents have already visited the company's warehouse without success. Notice of the writ has been sent to the home of its director, Jasmine Lovell, and now the agents are on their way to recover the debt. Gareth and Craig immediately spot a potential asset they could seize if Mrs. Lovell can't or won't pay.
There's a bill there, or an invoice for purchase under the name of Lovell.
So it's definitely this vehicle is linked to the defending company.
Hello, High Court Enforcement Agent. Looking
Right.
for the director or the owner of Phoenix Engineering South West Limited, please.
That'd be me, my lovely,
Be you,
but I
eh?
don't actually do anything with the company.
Okay, but you are the director, are you?
Yeah,
Okay. At the moment, we've got a High Court writ which says that you owe £10,046.93.
Right.
Well, it also gives us the ability to seize and remove assets from you.
Yeah, but only for the business. That's a limited
Yeah.
business.
Mhm.
But it doesn't run from here. Obviously, nothing in here is owned by the company
Okay.
because this isn't anything to do with the business.
Yeah, you'd have to prove that to us, unfortunately.
So what do I do here now?
So you've got two different options. You can either pay £10,046.93,
Right.
or we are going to seize and remove assets from you.
Right, okay, that's absolutely
Okay.
fine. I'll leave you there. I'm going to go phone.
Inside, Mrs. Lovell calls her husband, Paul, the manager of the business.
There is nothing in this fucking house that wants that
Here we go.
Right, there's nothing here.
Okay.
Reference the company.
We're going to have to come in and do a search of the property. then.
I'm not going to let you in, my lovely.
Okay.
But I've got a dog as well. So
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, no worries. Gonna walk around the back and see how big our dog is.
You've got a card, please.
What do you mean, a card?
A telephone number. This chap that knows about the company can ring you.
yes.
Gareth passes Mrs. Lovell a telephone number, and moments later, he receives a call from her husband.
No.
Hello. I'm a High Court Enforcement Agent. Okay. If I stop you there, mate, just because it's going through doesn't mean it's gone through, so you are still liable for this debt.
Yes, we are still active, but unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about paying any bills. Because we
Okay,
haven't got the
what's going to happen? We are going to be looking to seize and removing this van. It's not at the end of the drive.
money. You take that van, my friend, and I'll tell you what, I'm happy to take it. It doesn't belong to the company.
If you're saying the company doesn't own anything, then we will need to see receipts for everything within that property.
Don't talk silly.
I'm not talking silly, sir. I'm just telling you the facts.
You're talking bollocks, my friend.
Right.
You're not even stepping foot through the door, my friend, unless you bring the policeman there.
I won't need
Okay,
the. I don't need the police,
my
mate.
rights.
I don't need the police, mate.
Right. Okay. So you're going to be there about an hour if I come back down?
Brilliant. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Look forward to it.
All the best. Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra.
With Mr. Lovell saying that he can't pay, will Gareth and Craig get the £10,000 they came for? High Court Enforcement Agents Gareth Short and Craig Vernal were at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Lovell to recover just over £10,000 owed by Phoenix Engineering South West Limited.
Right, there's nothing here.
Okay.
Reference the company.
After Mrs. Lovell closed the door on them, her husband called the agents, claiming the company couldn't pay the debt.
You take that van, my friend, and I'll tell you what, I'm happy to take it. It doesn't belong to the company.
Now, after the agents have waited 40 minutes, Mr. Lovell arrives home.
Hello, sir. You all right?
Yeah.
Mr. Lovell, is it? Okay, so the position you're in now. This outstanding balance of £10,046.93 needs to be paid.
Okay, well, we haven't got the money. Company's not got the money. It's as simple as that.
Okay, well, you said to me earlier that you're winding the company up.
We haven't got no choice.
Is there a reason why you're still wearing uniform then?
Because that's the only clothes I've got to wear to work.
The company's still trading, yeah?
Not really. It's still in existence, but it's not trading.
Okay, so it still exists, it's still active. So it
Exactly.
means the company's still liable for this debt then?
Well, debt can't be paid. What's the other options?
Remove goods.
Anything we believe or suspect could belong to the company.
Mr. Lovell produces the logbook for the van.
They don't believe it's belongs to the company. It belongs to me.
If I show you that, 2 seconds. This document is not proof of ownership. So that proves to me who's liable to tax the vehicle, but it doesn't actually show who owns that vehicle. But ultimately, that can be seized right now.
With his van at risk of being seized, Mr. Lovell decides to tell the agents why he's in so much financial difficulty.
We've got a contract in Bristol which these claims done, which we've not been paid on, 110 grand. One of the reasons
Together.
I've not been paid on that contract,
Yeah.
unfortunately, he went bankrupt.
Just because somebody owes you money doesn't mean you don't have to pay somebody else.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
If you cannot pass debt on, it's
Well,
okay to
that's
owe other people money.
No, you need
So-
to do what you've got to do then.
Okay. All right.
Because at the end of the day, I ain't nothing, mate.
It's clear that Mr. and Mrs. Lovell's business has hit hard times. But now they're at risk of losing the one asset they have left. The agents give him one last chance to come up with an offer.
If you come to us and you say, this is what we can do and this is what we propose to do going forward, then we will take that back to the client and see what their views are on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, then we'll go out and chat with her.
Brilliant.
A lot of the times the builders are working on the big projects and there's a lot of money involved. So if somebody doesn't pay them that, it's always going to have a knock-on effect personally, and they can't afford to pay their debts.
5 minutes later, Mr. Lovell comes back out of the house. Gareth and Craig are hoping for a substantial down payment towards the £10,000 debt.
She's on the phone to her sister.
Yep.
We might be able to raise the grand, but that's about it.
I'll speak to the office now, see if they accept that. You need to have a think about what you can offer going forward on a monthly basis.
His £1,000 offer is a fraction of what he owes.
I don't think that's going to be accepted.
Try it.
Gareth calls the office to check whether Mr. Lovell's offer of £1,000, together with a payment plan, is enough to save his van.
He's offered a down payment of £1,000. Yeah. And then clearing the balance in 3 months. From our point of view, Jane, right? We've got no assets inside the property. We have got a 56 plate Ford Transit. But that's probably £500 at auction.
Yeah. Yeah. This fella has a history of non-payment.
Okay.
He physically doesn't make payment.
The claimant will only accept a payment plan if Mr. Lovell signs a personal guarantee with them.
See what he says. If he says no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Say, right, well, in that case, then they're not accepting your offer.
Brilliant, okay. Okay, Mr. Lovell, unfortunately, they're saying you've missed a couple of payments with them before.
Unfortunately, like I said, there's a couple of other suppliers that's gone that way.
So what they're saying, you've got two different options. If you want a £1,000 down payment now,
yeah,
you'd have to be a personal guarantor for that. So you need to sign a piece of paper to say if the company doesn't keep up with the repayments, then you'd be personally liable for it.
Me personally?
You, your wife, whoever signs for it.
Signs it. Do we get a dog to sign it? Right, what do you want to do, Doctor? We'll have a chat.
Go and have a chat.
You need to get hold of your sister and make sure she can bring this money over.
Yes, you can.
Right. £1,000.
So it's £1,000 today, £1,000 at the end of May, £1,000 at the end of June, and then clear the balance at the end of July.
Yeah, we should be able to clear it.
Mr. Lovell has been given a lifeline. But as he now has to sign as a guarantor with the claimant, it's not just company assets that are at risk if he defaults, but his own possessions.
I'll just have to take some details from you, sir, on £1,000.
So you want the money as well, don't you?
That'll help. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mate.
Get that on.
All the best.
Put it on there.
Yeah.
All the best. Yeah.
The case is resolved for now. But if Mr. Lovell doesn't stick to the claimant's payment plan, the agents will be back.
It's an extra trump card now because we've only got the van, whereas now we've got that and the personal guarantor. But I think from what he's saying, and the reason that he signed it, I think the company, by the end of July, the company will pay the debt anyway. Happy defendant.
Can I keys?
Yes.
Next time,
We fucking won't be stepping in here, mate, to tell you that now.
a Can't Pay special discovers exactly what it's like to do one of Britain's toughest jobs.
You can keep the chain on the door if you like. I'm going to find who you are, I'm going to find where you live. Trust me.
Right. We see the agents facing anger
Get out of the fucking house, man.
Push me about.
and deceit
He blatantly lied.
in some of the most challenging cases of their careers.
Don't touch me, don't touch me.
Oh, that looked awkward. See how the crews get on next Wednesday night at 9. Tomorrow night at 9, Living with Crazy Noise Through the Walls. The new series of Nightmare Neighbour Next Door continues. But next on Channel 5, Paul Connolly exposes the criminals trying to make a mint from desperation. The Great British Fake Off in just a tick.
what happens when you get into debt.
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't
You think you can tear my family apart?
or won't pay it back.
I can't pay it. I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits,
You bugger! Get out of here! Or somebody's gonna get hurt.
dealing with desperate debtors
Get out of fields!
in dramatic situations.
I'm not getting irate for any other reason than your van is on my drive.
We meet the people who are losing their homes
Where are you on the go now?
and their possessions.
That's fine, because I just list everything and we'll take it.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off of me.
they'll take it away. In the UK, there are currently over 8 million adults who are struggling with debt. The Citizens Advice Bureau in England and Wales dealt with just under 4,000 new debt problems every day during the first quarter of 2016. Gareth Short and Craig Vernal are High Court enforcement agents. They travel hundreds of miles every week, collecting debts and seizing goods. Their first job of the day is in Telford, Shropshire, to enforce a judgment for a debt of almost £3,000 owed by a roofing business to a loan company.
Right, where are we going today then, Gar?
So, first call this morning on the way to Telford. Debtor is A1 Roofing Services.
How much do they owe?
£2,765.
If the defendant named on the writ, A. Tranter, can't or won't pay today, the agents can remove goods and vehicles to offset the debt.
Hello, looking for A. Tranter, please.
Who's that?
Sorry? High Court enforcement agents, we are.
I've got an A-Trantor here. Trantor?
Yep.
No,
Trantor.
no.
Looking for A1 Roofing Services.
No.
No?
I've just spoke to you on the phone.
As I said, High Court enforcement.
I spoke to a woman on the phone and I said,
Okay.
I've never heard of this. I've had letters which I've returned
Okay.
because there's no one at this address.
Do you have any proof that you're not at this address?
How can I prove that someone's not at this address?
Council tax bill, tenancy agreement, mortgage statement.
I'm just
Yeah.
having the kitchen redone, so...
But Gareth's paperwork suggests that Mr. Tranter does live at this address. They need to investigate further.
So you don't know this gentleman at all, do you?
No, I've heard of an A-Trantor.
Tranter. Okay.
I'm Trantor. This is what I was saying to
Okay.
you.
I'm guessing it's a spelling mistake. At the moment, I got reason to believe that A. Tranter lives at this property and A1 Roofing Services lives at this property. Probably the best way to get us off your doorstep now is just to let us into this property, have a quick look around. If we got reason to believe he's not here, then we'll leave.
I don't even know an A-Trantor. My husband is called Kay.
Okay.
Kenneth.
Does he
Tranter.
own a company called A1 Roofing
No.
Services? He never has, does he?
No.
Is your husband inside the property at the moment?
Yeah, do you want me to go and get him?
Yeah, if you could, please. Ask him to bring some ID down with him as well.
With the door open, Gareth and Craig take the opportunity to get inside the property. They must speak to the woman's husband to confirm whether he is the man named on the writ or whether this is a case of mistaken identity.
Hello, sir.
All right.
Hey, mate. High Court enforcement agents we are.
Right.
We're looking for A. Tranter, A1 Roofing Services.
No, that says Trantor.
Kenneth Tranter, that's me.
Okay.
I'm Kenneth Tranter.
Are you anything at all associated to A1 Roofing Services?
No.
I can't believe this. This isn't even our flipping debt.
All we need to do is confirm that A1 Roofing's not here and then we'll leave you in peace. No, I'm
How are you
happy.
gonna confirm it?
The easiest way for us to do that is to have a little look around, mate.
No, I'm
That's
not
the
happy
easiest
with
way.
that.
Just bear
I'm
with
not
me.
happy with that.
The man claims he has a different first name and spells his surname differently. But when he returns carrying documents, he locks Craig out, leaving Gareth inside.
Can you open that door for my colleague, please, sir?
That's all I'm sure it's mate. Step back in there, sure.
No, I'll open that door to my colleague.
No, you won't. No,
Excuse me,
I know
Excuse me, mate. This is a class of kidnapping.
Fucking big baby, man. Just fucking get in there, will you?
If you want to kick off like that, we'll just look around the property. Not a problem, mate.
For fuck's sake, man.
Not a problem.
Despite the man's growing agitation, the agents can't leave until they're satisfied he's telling the truth.
That is who I am. Kenneth Tranter.
Kenneth.
Not A.
But Gareth spots his middle name written on one of the documents.
Kenneth Andrew Tranter.
Yeah,
okay.
That's who I am.
The man confirms his middle name is Andrew, but Gareth suspects he could be using it as his first name.
I've got reason to believe A. Tranter is you, sir.
I'm Kenneth Tranter.
Kenneth Andrew Tranter, A. Tranter.
No, I'm Kenneth Tranter. That's who I am. I'll just show you that, okay?
Yeah. At the moment, I've got reason to believe, sir, you're the debtor and you're the person we're looking for.
I cannot get a loan. I am not allowed to get a loan.
Okay.
So if you've got a document with a loan signature on it, if you can show me, I can prove it to you.
Okay, with the greatest respect, how would you know, if you're not A. Tranter, how do you know why we're here, sir?
Mr. Tranter's apparent knowledge that the debt is connected to a loan makes Gareth even more suspicious.
Mr. Tranter, okay? I'll explain to you, because I've got reason to believe you're the person we're looking for.
Mate, I haven't got a debt.
We're here with a High Court writ.
I haven't got a debt.
Okay, whether you acknowledge it or not, sir, okay? I've got reason to believe it's you.
My name is Kenneth Tranter.
Andrew Tranter.
Kenneth Andrew. I am called I cannot sign nothing A. Tranter. I'm not allowed to.
Why is that, sir?
Because I'm called Kenneth. That's my legal name.
You're having a writ against you, Anne.
So,
okay, okay.
Because
with great respect,
somebody
great respect, you just called him Andrew.
No, I said you're having. I didn't say Andrew.
And.
Yeah, and.
Andrew, you went to call him. I thought you slipped up there.
Rewind that for you.
And.
Do you agree with me, mate? Do you agree with me?
Oh, when and. Oh, whatever. I'm not even going to go into it.
You're on drugs, man.
Fucking hell, it's ridiculous.
With yet more clues indicating that the man is known as Andrew, Gareth puts the pressure on. He wants to flush out his true identity once and for all.
And whenever you're talking to me, I'm taking everything in. And as soon as I see that one little glitch, I'll jump all over that. So you make sure you'll keep your story straight, because if you're telling the truth, you'll always stay the same.
You can hide from this as much as you want.
I'm not hiding anywhere, mate. I'm fucking working, you dick. You couldn't say what I'm doing.
Right, you're obviously not acknowledging this, mate. At the moment.
I'm not acknowledging anything, because I don't know. Fuck all.
With tempers rising, will Gareth and Craig be able to get to the bottom of this complicated case and find out who the man really is? High Court enforcement agents Gareth Short and Craig Vernal were in Shropshire, chasing a debt of almost £3,000 owed to a loan company by A1 Roofing.
I've had letters for this, which I returned, so I wrote back, not known at this address.
The man they met claims he has a different first name and spells his surname differently.
I'm Kenneth Tranter.
Kenneth Andrew Tranter, A. Tranter.
No, I'm Kenneth Tranter. That's who I am. I'll just show you that, okay?
Tensions rose as the agents suspected the man was the defendant they were looking for.
I'm not acknowledging anything, because I don't know. Fuck all.
Now Gareth and Craig need to try and get to the bottom of this mystery.
If I said to you now, open up the back of the van, then we have a look in there, if you had nothing to hide, someone would just do that.
Do you want to open the van for you?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that would be great, because if
the van is full of shit, mate.
So all we're saying, mate, is just cooperate with us a little bit, and we can get our job done, we can get out of here.
There's all sorts in there.
Yeah, okay. What's the invoice book on the dashboard? Let's have a quick look, mate. Thank you.
Craig discovers an invoice made out to Andy Tranter.
Come on, mate. You use the name Andy, don't you?
No, mate, I'm caught.
Your name might be Kenneth, but your name's Andy. You use your Andy, mate. Day to day, you use Andy. I've seen enough. Sorry, mate, but I've seen enough of it.
The agents are confident they have enough proof that the man calls himself Andy and that he is the A. Tranter named on the writ.
I've done nothing.
The invoice book in the van is Andy
I've got
Andy
an
Tranter.
invoice in there with one name on the Andy Tranter. I did that fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Using emotions is just part and parcel of the job. Once that's out of the way, that's when you start coming back down to the debtor's level, having a decent chat with them, just to get the result you want.
Despite all the evidence to the contrary, Mr. Tranter is still standing his ground. But he can't provide proof that there's been a mistake made. His wife starts to cooperate with the agents.
Let's sort this.
Well, what do we do?
I don't know.
There's a couple of different options for you, sir. There's going to be a conclusion to this case today while we're here. You can either offer a payment, or we're going to look to seize and move assets from you. So at the moment, we're at stage 1, which is the lowest value it can be.
There's no way I can pay that, mate. There's no way in the world.
Okay.
I haven't got that sort of money.
With Mr. Tranter saying he can't pay, the agents have the right to seize goods to offset the debt.
You've had your opportunity to pay it. It'll now get progressed to stage 2. We'll now start to make an inventory of everything.
With payments looking unlikely, Gareth and Craig turn up the pressure and start listing the goods in the house.
And I got the TV, soundbar, Xbox, dining table and chairs, the van.
So we've got another Samsung TV.
But the value of the goods in the house and the van outside won't clear the almost £3,000 debt. And with the other vehicles apparently on finance, Craig gives him one last chance to pay off some of the money.
Can you get 50% of the debt?
Nah. Can you get 1,500 quid?
What about if I could get £1,000? And that's pushing, that's if I can.
Just gonna pop to the van, get a card machine.
Mr. Tranter's offer of £1,000 confirms Gareth's belief that they have got the right man after all.
We're better off taking £1,000 and putting it in a monthly arrangement, instead of removing goods and probably getting a £200 maximum at auction, in which they wouldn't pay anything then going forward. So at least we've got a guaranteed revenue then for the client. Fingers crossed, within 5 minutes we'll take a payment and we'll be out and on our way. Looking to make £1,000 on that card there, is there? Can I take the card off you, please? Thanks. Going forward, we're looking at about £400 a month payment.
Mr. Tranter has agreed to a payment plan to clear the rest of the debt.
Okay, sir, that's your copy. Keep all of that, keep it safe. Hopefully, you won't see us again, sir.
Have you got my email address?
I take whatever contact details you've got, if I can take from you, sir.
Yeah. It is A. Tranter.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We've asked him for some contact details for him. The email address he's given us is A. Tranter.
Mr. Tranter must now stick to his payment plan. Otherwise, the agents will be back.
That's a great result. I can't believe it when you give the email address. A. Tranter.
Government figures released in 2016 reveal that the number of homeless families with children in temporary accommodation has seen a 50% increase since 2010. Last year, nearly 40,000 families were accepted as homeless by their local council. (3 p.m. Ealing, West London.
Nice day.
Yeah, lovely day today.
Nice change.
High Court enforcement agents Steve Pinner and Phil Short are on their way to carry out an eviction.
So it could be a sublet.
It could
or
be.
they could be the original tenants.
Yeah, it could be any number of things.
The tenants owe almost £10,000 in unpaid rent. But the agents aren't here to collect the money. Their job is to get the tenants out today.
What is this, a ground floor flat? Toll house?
It's just a shop.
It's what?
Looks like a shop. This is 108.
The address listed on the writ is a commercial property and not a residential address as the agents were expecting.
It's got to be the shop. Let me just clarify this. God forbid I break into somewhere that I shouldn't.
Steve calls the office to double-check.
Sorry to trouble you, John. Just to clarify, this one in South Ealing is a shop. It's all closed up and locked, but, yeah, it's a shop. Hello, sir.
Hi. We've been waiting for you around the back.
Oh, OK.
The landlord's agent arrives, and he has some surprising news for Steve and Phil.
What is it? It's the back of the shop, is what it is. We have
Okay.
illegal tenants in the back. They turn it into a flat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's clear that somebody has already started removing their possessions.
People in the shop have gone. It's the people in the shop who actually left these people here.
Okay.
So the people who are being evicted are the back.
It appears that the shopkeeper has sublet the back room to a family unlawfully.
Where are they? Hello? Hi. You know why we're here?
One of the subtenants, Mrs. Stivan, is at home with her baby.
This is a High Court writ giving us possession of this property. So you have to leave. You get an hour to get your personal effects, identification, any medication, close for a few days, and then you can take this down to the council. Possibly they'll help you. And then you can make an arrangement with the landlord to come back and collect the rest of your stuff. Okay? So, do you need people to call and help?
Yeah.
Okay, if you call them, ask them to get here very quickly,
Okay.
so we can do this. Okay. Excuse me, I just need to go through.
While Mrs. Stivan calls for help, Phil and Steve check if anyone else is living in the premises.
Midland Bank, what year? Is there any date on it?
It's old.
Oh, I know that, because Midland Banks have been out of business 20 years. Yeah, it's HSBC.
It becomes clear Mr. and Mrs. Stivan and their young baby have been living in a former high street bank.
This is quite impressive, this.
Complete with money vault and bulletproof door.
Is that what you call a panic room? Oh, yeah. It's quite a solid section, that. The property market in London is so expensive, we are coming across people living in backs of shops, garages that have been converted, garden sheds that have been converted, just so they've actually got somewhere to sleep and live.
Mrs. Stivan claims she was unaware that there were any problems with her tenancy.
We always pay the rent, the shopkeeper. We always pay. We don't know the shopkeeper with the landlord problem. You know that. I think the shopkeeper not pay the rent or something with landlord.
As Mr. Stivan was in a low-paid job, this unconventional home was the only place the family could afford to rent.
Every day I go to the estate agency. They see the pay slip, the bank statement. They say, you don't have lots of money. Only your husband working. Many worries with my child, husband in the work. What can I do?
A neighbour arrives to lend a hand.
She's going in one more thing left. I can help her.
You can help. You can take all of this.
No, I'm from inside outside. Yeah.
But he can't offer them a bed for the night.
I can't help them. This is not easy. They're a family. If a single person I can, but this is the family of difficult.
Yeah. 6 months.
60.
The problem is when people rent sometimes off the internet or wherever they find these landlords, 9 times out of 10, the landlord isn't the landlord, he's a tenant. So he's subletting to people to make money off of them and possibly not paying the landlord. All finished?
Yeah.
The eviction is nearly complete. Mrs. Stivan's husband has rushed home from work.
There's no information, anything. Okay, you have to move today. My wife will now working at the moment. My wife will means a problem coming out. I don't know idea. I don't know where you want to go now.
It's 4:30 p.m. The family are now homeless. Mrs. Stivan must leave quickly to get to the council's offices to apply for emergency accommodation before they close.
They look after the things. To close the 5 o'clock, the council.
The family's only hope is that they're granted emergency housing for the night.
It's a shop. It's not a habitable place to live, especially with small children. So hopefully, from here on, they'll find somewhere a bit better.
Phil and Steve have dealt with a sensitive situation. But in Gareth and Craig's next case...
If payment is not made, we are going to be looking to seize and move assets from you.
And I don't own anything.
They meet a woman whose debt is turning her life upside down.
And instantly.
This has upset me so much, I can't believe that twat.
Personal debt in the UK is rising. Recent figures show that people owed almost £1.5 trillion in 2016. The average total debt per household, including mortgages, is almost £55,000. It's 7 a.m. and High Court enforcement agents Gareth Short and Craig Vernal are back on the road, this time in Carmarthenshire, Wales. They're chasing a debt of over £5,000 owed by Kerry Phillips.
We are off to a farm, going to see a Kerry Phillips in Treforest.
How much share?
It is currently £5,652.40.
The debt is for an unpaid vet's bill.
Hello.
It's an little bath, mate.
Spotting 2 cars parked outside the house, the agents block them in. If they belong to the debtor, Kerry Phillips, they could be seized if she can't or won't pay today.
Two dogs. Movement upstairs.
Hi there.
Hiya.
Looking for Kerry Phillips, please.
Speaking.
High Court enforcement agents. This is to do with the High Court writ that's issued against you.
At this time in the morning.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay, hold on. Well, she's closed the door on us, but I can hear us shouting to someone else inside the address, so hopefully somebody else will come back out, or she'll come back out in a moment.
But then a man appears at the door, wanting to know what the debt is about.
Morning. I need to speak with Kerry just to ascertain that she's happy for me to discuss it with yourself. As long as she's happy to do
this
it.
time in the morning, no, because
Okay.
we haven't had any notification about it.
Okay, well, we've got a High Court writ that we're going to be enforcing here this morning. Unless I can speak to Kerry, I'm not going to discuss it with you, unfortunately. All right? If not, we'll enforce the writ now, sir.
Whenever a debtor has a partner there, sometimes it does actually work for them, where they can bounce off each other and come up with a resolution. But it can also do the opposite. It gets a lot more emotional and it makes the situation a lot more difficult.
After 10 minutes waiting outside, it seems that the couple don't want to cooperate. So Gareth and Craig decide to take a look around the farm for other assets they could seize to offset the debt.
Job at JCB?
Yeah.
Clean boots last night as well.
All part of the job, mate.
Key, yeah.
Careful now. Oh, we got a quad bike as well, mate. Make that 2 quad bikes, girl.
I got the key to the tractor as well.
Okay. I don't know what machinery like this would be worth because of its age. If this machinery was a lot newer, it would certainly be worth removing. But we'll work that out throughout the day and see where we go.
The agents hope that the threat of removing the farm equipment will prompt Kerry to pay.
Miss Phillips, you engage with us now. Are you going to speak to us?
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant.
But I'm going through all the checks I've written to her, all right? So I'm writing more down, so if you wait.
Has anything come off the balance at all? She's saying she's written checks.
Payments received since judgment or order?
0. Somebody's fibbing.
Kerry claims that after losing a county court judgment, she's been paying off her debt in instalments. But the agents have a High Court writ to enforce.
All right, mate.
All right, mate.
She said it's okay for you to talk to me about it. How much is it over, mate?
Okay, so we're looking to recover £5,652.40.
She owes her 200 quid.
Okay.
So she's going through the checks
Okay.
now to prove it. And
That wouldn't be sufficient for us, mate. We're here with a High Court writ at the moment. So
why haven't we been warned about this?
you have been warned.
haven't?
Sufficient documentation to be sent to this address.
It's not.
Gareth and Craig need to get inside the property to verify that Kerry has been paying off her debt as she claims.
Well, look. Okay, don't
Hey,
let
I'll
him through that door.
I'll go in this way, mate. It doesn't bother me either way.
Oh, it's all right. He's in. Bring the police in or someone. All right, let me in. Look at that. The shotguns are coming out.
No, he's threatening guns, mate. Please, just bear with me, all right? If you was as organised with your checkbooks as you was with your bank statements, you'd pull your bank statements out now and show us. That's not unreasonable. A cheque coming out your bank will be on your statement.
If I could go in there now and prove it.
If everything's on
but they'll only
electronic,
go back 3 months.
well, have you paid anything in the last 3 months?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
well,
January.
Well, January's
Yeah,
well,
I got
allegedly,
Well, that's a start. Let's have a look at that.
Trying to torch anything, mate? To help you?
Kerry's partner searches their online bank statements to prove that they've been paying money to the claimant.
You can see we have been making the payment.
The problem we've got is we can see that you've been making cheque payments of £200, but who to? We don't know, do we?
Well, it's bullshit, isn't it? I'm not lying to you boys.
We just need to know where this £200 you were paying is for. Because it could be for rent or use of the land or anything like that. Do you get me?
Whenever you walk inside a property, we're constantly scanning for information. We're constantly reading that person, what they're saying. Is there any little chinks in their armour they're lying about? So we're constantly looking for that one little thing that we can bite onto.
You have a look on any one of these checks, Libs, and when it says cunt, that's her. Well, him, her husband or boyfriend. Because the payments are not going to her, they're going to him.
Yeah.
The cheque stubs show that Kerry has been making payments to the claimant. Craig calls the office to try to get to the heart of the matter.
Oh, Craig, you're right, mate. John. What's the story here, mate?
There's some evidence here to show that they've been making cheque payments sent to the client. Now, they've got it on the bank statements. We've got nothing on the writ to say that any payments have been made.
Yeah, I'll try and contact the client now and call you back in 2 minutes, mate.
Brilliant. Thanks, John.
Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
While the agents wait for the office to call back, Craig wants to know more about the case.
Where does this debt come from?
Her dog.
Her dog.
Bit our dog.
It's all about the dog then, is it?
She came up here and had a dog loose on the yard. Her dog went for her and they had a massive fight. And her dog caught his leg in the drain down there and broke his leg. So she took me to court and I lost. So, but I have not.
And obviously
on my payments, honest to God.
Obviously this debt then is for the cost of like the vet's bill and everything. Yeah. Hello. Yep, no problems, mate. Leave it with me. 2 seconds.
The office calls back with some news.
I've entered in I put a credit on the system for the back payments made. The balance is £2,033 and 52 pence. Yeah.
Thanks very much, John.
Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
It seems that Kerry has been making substantial payments, but the claimant failed to notify the office. But she owes far more than the £200 she thinks is outstanding.
What's the verdict?
With the costs and the balance that's currently outstanding, it's now £2,033
Oh, get off.
and 52 pence. All right, so that's where we're at with it now.
Payment we made by debit card, cash, bank transfer.
It's normally an instant
This
thing.
has upset me so much. I can't believe that twat.
Whenever somebody starts going into detail and you can see it as heartfelt and emotional, that's when you see that they are being genuine. You can see it has actually hurt them going through this circumstance. And when you start to sympathise with them, they can see that. And that's when you're both on the same level and you both get a better conclusion out of it.
The agents have been at the farm for over 2 hours. Kerry's partner decides to pay off the balance in full.
Brilliant. Job done. He's going to write you out a handwritten receipt now as well, so you got both of them. Right then. Thanks for being decent, both.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Hope your next call is as nice as ours.
What do you think?
Nah.
Take it easy. You can open the van so I can put this file in it. The client's been waiting for their money since early 2014, it's a number of years. And we've got the matter concluded today. I think it's, for the client's point of view, it's a great result. And, yeah, we're happy.
As business rates rise, a leading retail association reported this year that more than 1 in 4 UK shops could close by 2025. The situation is particularly acute in London, where commercial rents have risen by 180% in the past 5 years. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner are in North London, chasing £30,000 worth of commercial rent arrears owed by shopkeeper Jerry Cantor.
And it's a dry cleaners with a tailor's inside it. He does have a 10-year lease, but that runs out in June this year.
So it might
I
be on
don't
the downhill
know what the
slope.
possibilities are of collecting it, because he might just be thinking, well, I'll run the end of my lease and then toddle off into the sunshine.
Mr. Cantor has not paid full rent for 3 years, and now his landlord wants his money back. On their way in, Paul and Steve spot a Mercedes-Benz parked right by the shop. If it belongs to Mr. Cantor, it could be removed if he can't or won't pay.
Hello, sir. My name is Paul Bowhill.
What can we do for you?
There's some rent outstanding for here.
Sit down because I'm disabled nowadays, I'm afraid. Oh, yes, what can we do for you?
Right. There's £30,000.
Yeah, well, we haven't got it.
Right. If the rent is not paid or a suitable arrangement come to, The landlord could be pursuing you to bankruptcy.
It wouldn't bother me, to be
Wouldn't it?
perfectly honest. No, it wouldn't bother me. Let's put it this way, Paul. I'm an honourable guy. I'm paying as much as I possibly can out of the business. You tell me what we can suggest, because it's very, very difficult for me.
Yeah.
I'm now 80.
Mr. Cantor has made his position clear. But Paul and Steve are duty-bound to get this £30,000 debt paid in either cash or goods today.
The reality is, if we don't collect the rent, we could seize the goods here. One of the items that we could seize is the Mercedes, which is parked outside.
If you got for that.
Do you say you're not concerned about being made bankrupt?
No.
I think if I'm dealing with older people, it is a generation thing, so people are more likely to assume, quite rightly, that I've got a sympathetic view. The reality of the situation is that no matter how sympathetic I might be, we will still try to achieve the best result for the client. We will never, ever prejudice the client's interests in favour of any other thing.
With payment looking unlikely, Paul goes outside to update the office.
We need to speak to the landlord to see if it's acceptable to him to remove the contents of the shop and take the car and sell them. All right, John. Thank you very much. The bloke appears to be a straightforward and honest person, if you like. If the landlord says we've got to shut the shop today and take it all away, I don't have a problem with that. I suppose the only concession we would make is we'd probably give him a lift home.
The office calls back, and Paul hears a very different side to the story.
Right, spoken to the landlord.
Yeah.
He's claiming that the guy's pulling the wool over the eyes. He says that in 2014, the defendant, Mr. Cantor, sold his flat for £715,000.
Yeah.
And he knows that there are funds available.
The obvious piece of kit that we would take today is the car.
Okay, I'll speak to the client and see if we can get that arranged for you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Bye.
It seems the agents are caught in the middle of an ongoing dispute. But will Paul and Steve be able to recover the £30,000 they came for? Paul Bowhill and Steve Penner were in North London to collect £30,000 worth of commercial rent arrears owed by a tailor.
What can we do for you?
There's some rent outstanding for here.
The debtor, Mr. Cantor, claimed he wasn't concerned that his livelihood was at risk.
The landlord could be pursuing you to bankruptcy.
It wouldn't bother me.
He said he couldn't pay.
£30,000.
Yeah, well, we have.
But after a phone call to the office, Paul heard a very different version of events.
The defendant, Mr. Cantor, sold his flat for £715,000.
Now Paul goes to tell Mr. Cantor just what his landlord has said.
Right, I'll give it to you exactly as the officer's given it to me. The landlord thinks you're lying because you sold your house 2-3 years ago for £750,000, and you're obviously sitting on a gold mine, you can afford to pay, and they want us to continue to take your car away, take everything away now, really.
I can't believe it. I'm an invalid, I'm disabled.
Yeah. Have you got a disabled badge?
Yeah, it's in the car.
Sorry, OK. Because you've got a disabled badge, we won't take the car.
With Mr. Cantor's car out of bounds, Paul presses once more for payment.
Is there any figure today that you could possibly raise that might...
Well, certainly the working capital I could raise would be about £5,000 or something like that.
If you were to pay £5,000, I could give that to the office pretty much as a sensible...
I'll tell you what, I can do this.
OK.
It just takes away any capital, any bills that I've got to pay, which I can actually delay for a while.
You've talked yourself into that, That's come from you, and I think it's a sensible suggestion. Would you be able to go to the bank if we run you to the bank, or some variation of that, to actually draw out the money?
Today?
Yeah. Why not?
All right, we're not busy, but people are coming in there, and I can't close it, and I'm not prepared to do it.
Well, ring him back and just tell him to instruct the auctioneers then. If I'm confronted with someone who's obviously been in the business for a long time, somebody who might still be older than me, it always is likely to become a personal fencing situation. But it's my experience that I always win.
Paul's tough stance makes Mr. Cantor think again.
I mean, the alternative is if I give you a debit card. Can that work?
Yeah, that works, yeah.
Let me just talk to the office first, because we still haven't got the OK for this money.
Steve rings the office again to see whether the landlord will accept Mr. Cantor's offer of £5,000, together with a payment plan for the balance.
£5,000 is unacceptable. This is stepping back already. Can you forward over some photographs of the items we're looking at?
Yeah.
A copy of the inventory, and then I'll speak to the claimant for the landlord in this case and see which way they want to go with that.
OK, well, give me 5 minutes and I'll come back to you. You've got to feel sorry for the fella inside. He's 80 years old. He's struggling with this. In all fairness, he'd like to walk away, but it's in his name. That's down to the landlord's choice to what he wants to do. I don't think I'd be wanting to struggle when I'm 80 at that age.
It's not good news for Mr. Cantor.
He said the 5,000 is not going to be accepted by the landlord.
They won't, OK.
As Mr. Cantor won't increase his offer, Steve starts to take photos of the assets in the shop to send to the claimant. It'll be up to them to decide whether they want to clear the business out to get their money back, or change their mind and accept Mr. Cantor's £5,000 offer.
It's all right, you're not in it, Jerry. It is sad when you see people who've worked hard all their life and then gradually they're fading out with work, with one thing or another, and then they're actually falling on hard times.
Minutes later, the office calls back with the landlord's decision.
Yes, the landlord will go with £5,000 today.
Yeah.
And then it will be £1,000 a month moving forward.
Explain, Steve, go on.
If you pay the 5,000 and then 1,000 a month.
Well, I've agreed to that.
Yeah. And I will now pass you over to Mr. Cantor, Jerry, and he'll run through the card with you. That's Jane.
With £5,000 today and £1,000 monthly payments, Mr. Cantor's debt should be cleared in 2 years.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Steve. That's gone through.
See you then.
Take care. Look after yourself.
Thank you very much for your help, Steve.
The case is resolved for now. But if Mr. Cantor defaults on his monthly payments, the agents will be back.
We knew if we pushed him a little bit more, we would get a better result. So we had to go through part of the ritual dance. And eventually he did what we really wanted him to do. He volunteered the payment of £5,000.
Next time, Stuart and Ian confront a man in crisis.
Are you able to make payments, sir?
Yes, I can.
OK, that's fine.
Now shut up!
While Paul and Steve handle the fallout of a bitter breakup.
Now I'm left with nothing, and she still wants to have something off my table that I haven't got.